defense held them to 32% shooting. Anything that you noticed better about contests, or anything that was going on defensively to help get back in the game?
Yeah, I thought we just were behind the ball for a lot of the first part of that game. It was transition, and then they were sharper than we were, plain and simple, on both ends of the floor. And then, obviously we had a great second half, but I thought the group with like 5 to go in the second quarter, that really stabilized the game. And when you come back from a deficit like that, it's always that like invisible part of the game where it went from like 19 to 11 and got us into like a manageable spot and got kind of our mojo back. And I thought Isaiah Joe made big shots. Jay Will gave us big minutes. Barnheiser gave us a great lift in that stretch. So, I thought that stretch really changed the game for us.
You go into that timeout, it's, I think, 5-point game. Shai comes out and he scores 9 straight points. What did you just sense or feel from him coming out of that as you're in that kind of clutch time situation?
Yeah, he knows what time it is. He's got an appetite to be in those situations, and he was outstanding down the stretch. But again, I thought the group to start the quarter did a nice job fending off a little bit of a run, and I thought it was just a great 48-minute effort by the whole team. But yeah, he was outstanding in that stretch.
Second half, it seemed like there was more and better player and ball movement. When that happens, is that a conversation that you and the coaching staff are trying to have with them at half or at any point in the game, or is it just them naturally filling the game out and saying we need more ball movement, player movement?
Yeah, I thought the ball movement tonight was more of a reflection of the advantage creation. Like in the first half, they just shut our water off. We had a really hard time gaining an advantage. Their ball pressure really bothered us. They were really tight in their coverages. We didn't play with the requisite force to gain good advantages, and that's when you end up moving the ball, is when you gain an initial advantage. And then in the second half, I just thought we were more forceful on both ends of the floor, and at the point of attack on D, and then offensively, we were faster, sharper, everything.
Outside of these last 2 games, iHeart seems like he's playing the best basketball of his career so far this season, and he seems sharper, quicker decision-making. What do you feel like has allowed him to take that next step outside of just the more opportunity with injuries?
It's a combination of where he is in his career. He's a guy that's really used a lot of experiences. He's played for a lot of different teams and had a challenging road to get himself to this point in his career, and he's worked himself into this player, and so he deserves a lot of individual credit for that. And then I think as time has gone on here in Oklahoma City, he's gained more and more chemistry with the guys and understanding of how to kind of blend into this system and this team, and the combination of those two things, I think, has him playing obviously at a very high level.
You just talked a little bit about it, but you guys came out with like a whole renewed sense of energy in that third quarter. How, intentional were you guys in like going out there and throwing the first punch versus just kind of sticking to what you guys always do and just hoping that things fall into place?
Yeah, I like I said, I thought it was the 5-minute stretch prior to halftime that really shifted the game. And that's the hardest time to do it, is when things aren't going your way, the wind's in your face, and you got to kind of drum up your own energy. And we were able to do that going into the half. It gave us a little bit of life, and then we sustained it in the second half. I just thought, the defense tonight was really good. Kaysen on Morant. Morant's a really tough cover, and he did a great job on him. And then I thought collectively on Jackson, he got some points, but he took 16 shots to get him. And so those 2 guys are the top of the scouting report, and I thought our guys did a really good job of making it hard on them.
Anybody else?
Chet seems like that he's taken another step in his playmaking. What have you seen from him in that growth, and how much he's become a better playmaker?
Yeah, I thought he was really assertive tonight, but to your point, made the right plays and passes. He's still learning how to get blended into what we're doing, and especially at the 4. He probably had a great feel for that at a certain point at the 5, and then we've played him at the 4 almost exclusively this season, and he's really learning, like in the flow of the game, how to get himself involved and do so in a way that fits into the team. And so he just continues to grow. He played a great game tonight. We got huge lift out of a lot of guys. He was one of them.
And Shai's 3, particularly the step back 3, obviously it's not where he wants it to be, just how many he's making field goal percentage or 3-point percentage wise, but seems more fluid, more comfortable. Is that something that you're noticing in that shot?
I don't know. I mean, ask him. He'll have commentary on it. But I always admire his confidence. You know, like he's not impacted by the last play, the last game, the last shot. You know, he just is very present, aggressive, confident in the next moment, the next game, the next possession, next shot.
Anyone else?
All right.
Thank you,
you.
Coach.
Yep.